Hello everyone, welcome to the Rise Talk Show, and today is going to be an interesting day because I have someone very special with us today. So today's episode is not about debate, not about questions that hurts someone, but it's about honesty. Social media has made transgender women one of the most talked about, judged, sexualized and misunderstood groups in society. People always ask questions behind screens, whisper assumptions and create stereotypes, but rarely sit down for a real conversation. Today, we are going to just do that. Today, we have Miss Samrakshana, Karunakaran. Thank you for being here today and to be here to answer questions boldly.
Sure.
Welcome to the show.
Thanks
How
for
are you
having
feeling?
me. I'm feeling good. A bit nervous as well because, yeah.
So today, the first question for you. What are you beyond labels? Labels like, Hondan, Bapo, Kunsa, what else in Tamil? Ombode. What are you behind all these labels? Who are you?
Well, so my name is Samrakshana Karunakaran. I'm a teacher in an international school. I teach English language and also English literature. And besides that, I'm also an influencer. And then I've worked with a few brands, Malaysia local brands. I've been the ambassador. I've also been doing shoots as well. So I do part-time modeling as well.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And this is Samrakshana Karunakaran.
This is Samrakshana.
Can I start with your childhood?
My childhood was amazing.
Okay. Tell us a little bit about that.
Amazing for me, but not for my parents.
Okay.
Or my family members, I would say. Why? Because I was that child where everyone knew something was wrong with me by the way I behaved, the way I talked, and in the things that I was playing with, and all these kind of things. So everyone knew that something was wrong with me.
What age was that? Specifically, when you started?
Even before I could talk.
Okay.
Yeah, I would cry to my mom. I would say, I would point things. I would point to my sister's anklets and I would be like, I want that also. I would cry for my sister's anklets and stuff like that and all.
Okay.
So there was a problem, but it's just that my parents thought over the time, it's just a phase. Over the time, things would change, because my dad is a taekwondo president. My mom, she has her own business. She was dealing that. And then, everything was going good. The normal Indian family.
Okay.
So when I was there and, all this, my parents were very busy with their work as well. So they thought, okay, he's growing up with his sisters and everything. So probably that's just a phase.
Were you the only son?
No, I had I have an elder brother.
Okay.
2 elder sisters and the youngest.
Okay. All right. Okay.
So my childhood was, for me, it was just because I was not really into gadgets back then. I would just watch cartoons.
Okay.
And then I would play with my sisters, and that
was it.
That was it.
Okay.
So my childhood was a bit traumatizing as well, because at a very young age I started feeling that I was different. Everything I did was actually looked at me in a very weird way. Why you're a boy? Why are you doing this?
So what were you doing?
I was playing with dolls, and then I used to dress up. I used to wear my sister's clothes.
So you were doing it, but you didn't let anyone know, or you did it in the
I
open?
did it first. At first, I did it publicly.
Okay.
Then it's either my mom or my dad would scold me for doing it, and then I'll be like, oh. But when my sister does it, it's okay. But when I do it, it's wrong. Why?
Okay.
So I was like, something's wrong somewhere. I don't know where. What's the problem? Is it me or is it my parents? I had lots of questions when I was very young itself.
Okay.
And my parents was like, the normal Indian parents was like, no means no. Don't ask why. So I had no answers. So when I had no answers, I couldn't understand properly. So I would just okay, just saying, I'm just following, that's it, finish.
Okay.
So
so how did it progress? So that was your childhood, right?
Childhood.
Fully boy.
Yeah.
You went to school,
yes.
Boy dress, boy clothes and all.
School uniforms, everything
and all
was
that.
boy. Yeah.
Your hair and all. Teenhood. How was that in your being a teenager?
When I was at the age of 15, I noticed there was something off with me because my schoolmates were different.
Okay.
The guys were having mustache, beard, and their physical appearance would be totally different compared to mine. And I would be there thinking why do I have love handles? Why do my my voice was not correct, and
Mm.
a lot of things was different, and like, why?
So meaning to say, when you were a teenager, you did not have mustache growing?
I had, but it
Sideburns?
was very
Little. Okay.
Whereas like my other schoolmates, they had like, hairy legs, hairy
Mm.
hands, and they had this
Adam's apple.
Adam's apple and all these kind of things, and
Right.
they were very aggressive. They would play football and everything. And I would be like, no, I don't want to play football because it's sweating. It's a sweating game which I don't like to get involved.
Very
And
girly.
yeah, I was very girly. I was in the classroom doing my homework. I would just hang out with my girlfriends. And I preferred girlfriends more than guys.
Okay.
I felt they were very rough and tough. They were like, I just didn't like guys at that time.
Okay.
So I was comfortable with my girlfriends. So yeah.
Okay. But you were still identifying yourself as a boy.
Yes.
And at that time, even though you were confused, I'm a boy. That's how you...
Yes, that's how I was telling myself.
Okay.
I mean, because I'm an Indian, I used to watch a lot of Tamil movies and stuff like that. So when I watch a lot of Tamil movies, I would picture myself as the heroine. Okay, so when I see Trisha, I'm like, okay, I'm Trisha. When I see Nayanthara, I feel like I'm Nayanthara. So like when my dad goes to work, my mom is not at home, or my sisters goes to college and everything, I would literally drape sari. I knew how to drape sari when I was the age of 11 years old. Yeah. So I could drape my mom's sari at
fully, just like how you...
Yeah, perfectly.
11 years old?
At 11.
I didn't even know how to wear pawada satta.
Now I can drape a sari within a minute.
Seriously?
Yes.
You got to teach me that.
Definitely.
I still don't know how to tie sari properly.
Sure, no worries.
But that was when you were 11 years old. You were already like decorating yourself.
Yes, I would do makeup, but my makeup was not good. It was really bad. I would use one lipstick for the eyeshadow, for the lips, and for the cheeks as well.
But your hair was short and you looked like a boy.
Yes.
Literally.
Yes. Okay. And then I would drape my sari, and then I would just picture myself, married to a guy who is probably an engineer or a police, kaka scene, and then like I'm Jyotika, and then I would recreate the scene. Back then we didn't have TikTok, so I would play the movie, and then I would like Jyotika would be behind the scenes. I'll imagine that I'm talking to Surya. So it was like that.
So that was your like teenhood, right?
Childhood, and
but when you were doing all this, people at home, did they see you doing it? Did they shame you?
I would only do this when they are not at home.
Okay, so they never knew.
So they never knew all this was happening. But there's times when my mom would be like, who wore the sari? Because when my mom suddenly comes back home, I'll just take out everything, I'll throw it into the cupboard. So she'll be like, why is it messy? Why is the maid not cleaning up? So they knew something was going off, but they didn't suspect it was me. And since I was the youngest in the family, they've always seen me as a baby. So pampered me. So even the age of 15, they wouldn't really, he's just a small boy. He's just a small boy. And like, well, my brother, when he was at the age of 15, he could ride motorbike. He had friends. He was involved in a lot of taekwondo activities and everything and all. But I was just at home watching TV, dramas. I would sit and watch serials with my mom and all that kind of things.
Okay. So now let's get into, we are going to talk more stuff, and it's going to be, much more in depth, but also probably prick you at some point. Sure. So when did you actually change yourself? Like, no longer feel a boy, and now you... when did that happen? No, not surgery yet, because before that part, you're definitely going to change yourself, right?
Yes.
So that happened after your schooling years?
Yes, after my schooling years.
And your family started to...
So after my schooling years, I did tell my parents one day, I just told them that I want to be a trans. And my mom was like, the whole house went quiet for a while. My dad was quiet. My mom was like, if you want to be a trans, you have to leave the house.
So at that moment, didn't you tell yourself, like, why do I need to do this? Better I stay as a boy.
No.
You didn't.
There was times where even when I was in secondary school itself, I would think like, can I just go and take a scissors and just cut it off?
You had that thought,
yes,
those thoughts.
I had. Okay. I wouldn't be ashamed of it because I felt that my soul is a female.
So that thing was bothering you.
Yes.
It didn't belong to you.
Yes. And whenever I looked at myself in the mirror, why am I living a dual life? Like, I know that I'm a female, but I've got a male's body, which doesn't look like a male.
Now, can I ask you this question, right? You have these feelings, yes, but your anatomy, you're biologically a male. So when we talk about man parts, right? So as you attain puberty during your teenhood, didn't you have any feelings like erection and things like
No,
that? You never had
I
those
never had
things.
erections.
So you never had erections
I never
before.
had erections. That's the thing when my friends used to come and tell, and even when I was studying science, chapter 3,
Yeah,
form 3, chapter
reproductive,
4,
yeah.
reproductive and all, the teacher would be explaining. I'm like, why we never experience all these kind of things? So, and then I used to ask my friends also. So they would be like, yeah, you know, all this happens and everything. So I'm like, how come? Then I thought maybe I am not yet reached puberty yet.
Yeah.
Then, but I was just different.
But were you curious? Did you examine that part?
No,
you did not have
I
the
just
slightest.
didn't like that part.
It was
That's
very
one.
alien. You just
It
didn't
was
want
very
it.
alien. But the upper part of my body, I left it.
Okay, why?
Because I like my few of my friends had chest hair
yeah,
and all
yeah,
that kind of things, armpit hair and all. But I was clean, like literally clean, and my body skin was very soft, and you know, I would say like the love handle, the hip part,
yeah,
and everything.
yeah.
It was there naturally without consuming hormones.
Yeah, back then you were.
So I was like, oh. But when I look, and when I used to drape my mom's sari, because I see my sisters and you know all these people when they wear sari, they have that hip shape, and I had it.
The hourglass shape.
The hourglass,
yeah.
hourglass shape. So I was like, okay, maybe I was born to be. That's when I slowly started feeling like, okay, it's not this, it's not that, it's in middle. So what is this
you
middle?
you never wanted to be a boy, and you didn't even think about it.
No.
You just wanted to cut it off.
Yes.
That was it.
Yes.
So when you talked to your parents at that time, how was it?
Of course, the answer was not welcoming.
Okay.
My dad was silent, as I told. My mom, she's like, if you're going to be a trans, you have to leave the house.
Okay.
So I was panicked because I'm really close to my mom.
Right.
She and I used to be like friends and everything, you know, we used to be very close. So then when I got that answer from her, I felt like, huh? Then I did nothing. I just kept quiet. I went had dinner and I went to my room and slept. That's it.
Okay.
So while I was sleeping, I was thinking, okay, if now I leave my house, I would definitely be a prostitute.
Okay, that was your first thought.
Yes.
This is how I have to be if I leave. Why so though?
Because I just finished school.
Okay.
I don't have any certificates. I don't have money to eat. I don't have a shelter to live.
So that means the only thing you have to do is sex work. You have to. You have to. That's no choice.
That's the only thing that came up. And I was very young, so I didn't have guidance back then. And we didn't have gadgets like how we have nowadays. And there was no internet and everything. I could not speak about this to anyone. Even in school, I couldn't speak to anyone, any teachers or counselors. Because the knowledge back then was not how would I say, it was not as how it is today.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And today we have TikToks, we have gadgets, we have internets and everything. Everything is basically in internet now. But back then nothing was that. So I was living in a cave and I didn't know who to talk to and everything. Then I thought, okay, my mom's second phrase was, you also will end up like if you become a trans, you also would end up being a prostitute.
So your mom said that to you?
My mom
so
said
at that moment, did you tell yourself, better I become, let's just do sex work?
No. I was panicked. Still in panic. And then when I was sleeping, I was thinking, why when a person becomes a trans, it's always a sex worker?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to change that. All right. So when people in the future generation, when they come and say to their parents, ma or like dad or anybody, any person in the family, like I'm going to be a trans, the family should think, okay, this kid of mine would definitely not be a sex worker, and this kid would be like Samrakshana, a teacher, an influencer, and all that kind of thing. So I created that path for the future generation.
Okay. Yeah. And that is when you made that determination.
Yes.
But you were very broken, right? At the same time.
I was very broken.
You had no support.
But to be honest, I felt like patikla. Like whatever it is, we'll face it. I will fight till where I can go. If cannot, then I'll just leave it to God's hand. Okay. So after that, what was your path like? You left home? No. So you continued? Yeah. But wasn't it a battle? They hated what you were becoming? Of course. See, the thing is, when in my house, we have this tradition or culture when we finish when we reach at the age of 18, my dad or my mom would either get a car for you.
Okay.
Okay, they would definitely get you a car. So my brother got a car, my both sisters got a car. When they asked me, I said, no, I don't want.
Okay.
Okay, because of course you're not accepting me, then why should I accept you? So I didn't accept anything. I used to go to my college and university, everything by public transport. So I would literally wake up early.
Were your appearance still a man?
Boy.
Still a boy?
Yeah.
That time you were a young
Still
man,
a
right?
boy, yes.
So you were fully a boy
Yeah,
at that time,
still
but
a
you
boy.
were a woman inside. That's how you were living your life.
Yes.
Okay.
I've never done any surgery for my face.
Okay.
It's still the same. So if you looked at my previous photo and now, it's just the same. So I was, if you recall that character and you come and ask these questions, so that person would literally speak like how I am speaking. So there's no tremendous changes in me and anything, you know. This has always been myself.
Okay.
This is me.
The
and
way
everything.
you walk, the way
everything.
Okay.
So I went university, I finished my class, then I would stay at the library and I will do my work because I didn't want to come home, you know. So I'll stay at the library, I'll read, do my assignments and everything, thesis and all. And then at 4 o'clock, I will take bus or train again and I'll go and teach tuition. I used to teach private tuitions. So when I teach private tuition, I get income. That income was what I used for my laser, my hormones. And then I also saved up partially for jewelry.
Okay.
Gold. I invested in gold. Because when I knew one day I want to get my sex reassigned surgery. So at that particular time, that goal would be helpful. Because I don't want to depend on my parents or depend on anybody else.
They're not going to give you even if you ask, isn't it?
Yes. And also, I don't like when people come and tell, yeah, today you're like this because of me. I don't like that phrase. Today you're bringing that car because of me. You know, you're living this life because of me. No, I'm a very independent woman. So therefore, I saved and then I did all this. And I was keeping myself really busy.
Okay.
So probably that's why I didn't really feel that hurt much. But okay, yeah, I did have sometimes, you know, like when I used to get good results and when I go and tell my parents, my dad would be like, what is the point you get such good results? At the end of the day, you're still going, you have decided that you want to be a trans. Which school will accept you? And today I'm teaching in an international school.
So you proved them wrong?
Yes.
Straight on their faces?
Yes.
Okay, now I'm going to go, since we are going into that part of your transformation. So when did you fully transform? Now, I just wanted to ask you this, right?
Okay.
You did say you saved up money for reassignment, gender reassignment surgery, and we don't have it here, right? So obviously, where did you have to do it?
Thailand, Hanyai.
Okay. How much does it cost?
Okay, so actually the surgery, we have got two surgeries.
Okay.
One is primary, another one is optional. Okay, so the primary one, which is known as your sex reassigned surgery, so they will entirely, what they would do is entirely remove, not entirely, but they would have, the doctors would have their own methods of using the male organs, transforming it into a female organ.
Okay,
Female
so literally
reproductive
transforming
organ, yes.
Okay.
Which will look very same like a female's reproductive organ.
Okay.
So let it be the shape of the physical, the V shape, the holes, and then
even the holes.
Yeah, and then you know, getting wet and all the sexual
even can
pleasure.
Get wet.
Yes, everything.
Serious?
Yes.
Really?
Everything is similar to a woman.
No, not even the slightest. No. Okay, I just want to understand because people don't know this, right?
Yes.
People always say, oh, these folks, they just want to do it just for the sake of it. But now when you're telling me this, it's really hard to, you know, like accept that reassigned sexual part can actually become wet, but you are actually a male, right? So how much is this? I mean, like you haven't answered the cost. How much is it?
It depends on the person, the individual's height and weight.
Oh.
So back then I was 172.
Okay.
And also I was half of this size. So I was super thin back
very
then.
Thin.
So it was 19K for me, 19,000 Malaysian ringgit.
Whoa, that's a lot. And this is only the first part, right? You said there was another optional part. Did you do that too?
Yes, I did.
And how much is that?
That was 8,000, which is the upper part of your chest. You insert silicone.
Silicone. Okay, that's for your breasts.
Yes.
So you do it at the same place? In Thailand too?
It was in Thailand, but sex reassignment, I did it in Hanyai. And my boob job, I did it in Bangkok.
Okay. Okay. So how old were you when you were doing this?
24, 23, 24.
24, 23, 24. But you see, when a person talks about any kinds of surgery, it's just like you read it and you just visualize it. But going through it is another whole phase, right? And can you explain how is it done? Will it be possible?
Yeah. Of course, I've even spoke about this in TikTok also.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
I would like to see you and hear it.
So are you asking me like mentally or physically,
Okay,
emotionally?
2 parts. Let's go physically first,
Okay.
because it's still very difficult for people to accept that once a penis can become a vagina. I just want to say the normal, I mean, it's literally a biological, simple term that we use, penis and vagina, right? So how can a penis become a vagina?
Okay, this is a true story
Yeah.
because it happened to me, and I know a lot of trans women who has actually gone through this phase also.
Yeah.
So how it happens is, okay, so you call up the doctor.
Okay.
Okay, so you can call through online and everything.
Right.
So you call the doctor. So you tell the doctor that you want to do the surgery. So the doctor will ask you what's your weight and height and everything. So he will give you that amount. So you prepare the money and everything. Hindus do it a bit different. We will have our own pujas and everything.
The before and after, right? I've
Yes.
seen some.
We call that Mada Puja.
Yeah, okay.
So we will do the puja and everything. Then we will go to Thailand. We'll go and see the doctor. He would be like, okay, he'll check everything. He'll check your blood pressure. He'll check your blood, everything. Okay, and all. If everything is good, okay, he'll say tomorrow morning, 8 o'clock is your surgery.
Just like that.
You pay him the cash instant.
How were you at that time? Were you alone?
No, I went
Okay.
with my trans mom,
Okay.
Sheila. Okay.
Okay.
I'm very grateful to God that I have had her in my journey.
Okay.
Okay. So what happened is, as I speak about this, I'm having my panic attack because it's like, refreshing the old memories.
You're okay, right?
Yeah, fine. So what happened is basically we went to Thailand and then I went and saw him. Then I gave him the cash. So his first question is, okay, this is a normal clinic, okay, like you see in like polyclinics in Malaysia.
Yeah.
It was like that,
Not
some
even
fancy hospital and all. Okay, but the surgery took place in a fancy hospital. But the consultation when you're going to see the doctor, it's in a small polyclinic.
Didn't you feel doubtful at that moment?
No, I was like, yes, I'm going to be a woman. Finally, I was super excited. The first statement the doctor said, are you sure about this?
Okay.
I was like, yeah. Then he was like, there's no going back, right? I said, obviously, who wants to go back? I was like, okay. Then he signed everything.
So once you do it, you can't reverse it back, right?
Never.
So it's irreversible.
Yes.
Many people think they can reverse it back.
That one is stupid. Very, very stupid.
Okay. So thanks for clarifying.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
That's why you should go school and study. The problem is these people, they don't go school and study.
They don't even want to research.
Assume things, which is very angry, making me angry. So what happens is, then after he signed everything, okay, now I need you to go to these 2 locations. He gave me 2 different locations.
All right.
They were psychiatric.
Okay, so they wanted to evaluate me
first. So I went. Then the first doctor, she knew that I was teaching in school. Back then, I was actually already starting teaching and everything. So she was like, okay, and everything and all fine. So she was easy. The second doctor, she had 101 questions. She said, why you're doing this? What's your family thinking about this? Will you regret your decision? She was doing her job.
So they're trying to stop people from doing this.
Trying to stop because it's a life or death situation.
Yes.
Many people actually
have
died on that bed. Okay. So on the operation bed. So I felt like, okay, she's just doing her job, and I was very stern with my answers. And then both the doctors came up with a letter saying that she's mentally prepared. She can carry forward the surgery. So I went. I was very excited. Spoke to my sisters, my mom.
You did not even have a slightest fear. Okay, if you died that day, you would have died happily?
Definitely.
Really, huh?
Definitely.
Okay, go on.
Definitely, I would have died very happily. And then,
no, sorry. No, that is over already, right? It's done.
Yeah.
But at that moment, isn't it? Because people are actually telling you, look, People can
Correct.
die. You still want to do
Correct.
this.
Yeah, yeah.
And you
That
still
was
want to do it.
actually my mom's main concern.
Of course.
She was like, you be like this, but don't have to do the surgery. I
Yeah.
said, I cannot live that kind of life.
Mm,
So
mm.
then after that, so I went and did my surgery and everything. So it was on the 8th of December.
Okay.
Okay, it was on the 8th of
Last month of the year, huh?
Yeah, because school holiday.
Oh, yeah, right.
So I went 8th December, and then the doctor all was in the operation theatre and everything.
You were still excited?
I was still excited.
Seriously?
The best part is they already induced for me the what do you call that?
Anesthetic.
They already induced that, but I couldn't fall asleep.
See?
I was that excited.
So it didn't work?
It didn't work.
Oh
then
my
the
goodness.
doctor came in. You sure? I said, I'm very sure. Why you need to ask me this question over and over? Look at that time. The time was 7:15. That was the last thing I remember.
Then you dozed off, right?
I dozed off.
Okay.
The next, I woke up when they were changing me back to my room. My ward's bed.
How long was the surgery, by the way?
When I woke up, I looked at the time. It was 12:05.
Okay.
So it was almost 4
to 5. Yeah. Okay.
So then after that, it was very painful.
How was it, huh?
It was very, very, very painful, especially the back part of your hip is because when you do the surgery, your both legs are like this.
Yeah.
So the doctor comes in and he does it very near, not like some people will think, okay, if this is the patient, doctor stands at the side. No, your legs has to be on top like that, and the doctor has to be in. So all that was happening, and then at first I didn't feel pain. I was just happy. I was like, oh, okay, finally, and everything.
Did it and all. I'm a woman. Okay.
As the anesthetic
wears off,
what happened is started fading and everything. I started feeling pain. Then the nurse came and asked me, are you okay? I said, no, I'm feeling pain. Then she's like, I give you painkiller. Now, in every hospital, the strongest painkiller is morphine.
Yeah, morphine.
The first day I had my surgery, I took 2 shots of morphine, but I still feel the pain.
Oh, wow.
It was there. Legit, 73 hours I didn't sleep.
Suffering. Did you regret at that moment? So I shouldn't have done this.
5%,
okay, there was a 5%. I should have just stayed with my penis.
I was like that.
Okay.
Heavy, I was like that. Is it heavy? Like that. Then, but okay lah. Eventually, slowly, baby steps, everything. And the first time we did the surgery, after the surgery, we had blood tube and also urine tube.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So the blood tube was pulled out after 3 days. And then after that, only I can start walking. For the first 3 days, I can't walk.
Right.
Okay. So I would be just bedridden and everything. And then when they told me, okay, now you can start to walk. Baby steps. I can't stand straight. The pain was very bad. But my trans mom, she was with me. She was motivating me a lot. She was like, you have to walk. If not, your bone would be, hunched and everything. She was motivating me and everything slowly and everything, baby steps. And it was good. It was good.
So now, can I ask you another question?
Yes.
You used to pee in a different way.
Yes.
But now you have to pee in another way. How was it?
The first time when I was peeing.
Yeah.
So after a month of drinking coconut water, lots of bottles of gallons of water and everything, whichever which is good for the urinary tract.
Right.
One day my urine bag burst. Burst as in it burst. Okay.
Too much of it.
Too much
at
of
one
it.
go.
And it was right tomorrow I have to remove it. I have to go to the clinic and remove it in Malaysia. But today itself it burst. So then after that we still went to the clinic and everything. Everything was cleared and everything.
Right.
So now my trans mom said, now we wait. So I was like panicking.
So wait as in to pee naturally as a woman.
As a woman.
Okay.
And then I felt it. Okay, I went, and that
you
was
squat down for the first time.
And that was like the most
happiest moment.
Seriously? Yes, it was the most. I was like, okay, yes, God, you did a mistake, and I fixed it, and now it's everything in the right place.
So you're thankful to science.
I'm thankful to science, and I'm also very thankful to God as well. If he didn't created all this path and, or imagine like what you said during the surgery, if something went wrong or if I had, pus and all, surgery.
Possibilities were high.
Very high, a lot of bacteria and stuff. If I was not, hygiene and stuff like that, long ago I would have been dead. But everything is good till today and I'm sitting right here in front.
Of course.
So without God's help, I think I wouldn't have been here as well.
Another question. So you finished that. How about your breast implants? Now, you had a flat chest,
Uh,
a male's chest, right? Even though they were beautiful, you said no hair and all.
no,
but
I didn't have male chest.
Oh, that means you did have flesh back then
I
too.
did have without
Oh.
consuming hormones itself.
So that means you had flesh already.
Yes, that's
Okay.
why I told you I like the upper part of my body
Ah.
because I had that.
So it wasn't flat
It wasn't flat.
naturally.
Although I was thin, I still had flesh.
Huh.
And then before my surgery, remember I told you I started consuming my hormones?
Yeah.
That gave me even more. So I was basically in a A cup. Okay. And then my trans mom said, okay, you're a model, you're doing modeling and you're also teaching and everything. You've already done this surgery. That surgery is only like about 8,000, which you can save up. And then after 6 months, you can get the surgery done as well. So I thought about it. Like, yeah, okay, fine, let's just do it. And that's when KWSP announced that, we can
withdraw
10,000.
Oh, so you used that
So I
to
was
do
like, okay. So I took the 8,000 and I straight away went and did my upper part. And
so these were implants, isn't it?
Implants.
Silicons?
Soft gel. They're
soft
called
gel,
soft
okay.
gel, which
Okay.
is silicone is a bit dangerous.
Okay, yeah.
Because it has the pressure and everything.
Last time it was silicone, isn't
Yes,
it? Even
now-
women do it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now it's called soft gel and it's more safer nowadays. And what I would say is that now from an A cup, I've gone to C cup.
And
So-
no pain after you do.
Oh God, that
It
one is a
hurt
pain.
too, right?
Yeah, it
Yeah.
hurt. I felt like they took 2 rocks and they just kept inside.
And how long was that for?
Probably 2 months.
So you never wore a bra before you had that, or have you tried wearing?
I've had.
So that was normal.
Yeah, when I
You
was
already-
consuming my hormones and
You
everything.
already started
yeah,
wearing
I started
bra.
and everything.
Okay.
So then the journey continued.
So you felt complete.
I felt complete.
Mm.
It took me like 8th of December, I did my sex reassign.
Mm.
The following year, that means December, January, February, March, April, May 15, I went and did my boob job. And 25th was my birthday. So like, I'm done.
You're
At
done.
the age of 24, okay, I'm living a life as a woman now.
But you see, the pain you went through,
Mhm.
the hell that you were in, right? And you were shamed for all this. People thought you're not going to do it. People didn't want you to do it. But, even in that moment, I mean, you are telling me you were excited. But of course, deep inside, you would have feared, right? Suddenly something happened means I will die. That kind of, a little bit would have been there.
No.
You didn't have
I
that.
didn't.
You were so
And
positive.
I was very positive.
Okay.
It was me against the world.
So
It's
it's
like-
worth it for you,
It
you're
was
saying.
very worth it.
It was very worth it.
It's
The
not
pain.
me only, but if you ask any trans woman who has undergone the surgery of fully becoming a woman, not even a trans woman, fully becoming a woman, it's definitely 200% worth it.
Okay. But you have to be taking HRT for life, isn't it?
Yes.
Hormone therapy,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And because of this, you will not be able to donate blood, I heard.
Yes.
Okay, it's because of the hormones being injected and all that. But you see, Shana, I just wanted to ask you, going through this surgery is one, consuming hormones is another. And for life, it's good. So are you worried about, there are a lot of side effects, as you age and stuff. Are you worried about that part? Like what is going to happen to you when you age? How are you going to face it? How's healthcare going to be? They don't have much healthcare for trans women here, right?
Mhm.
So do you think all that?
No.
No, you are just, okay, go with the flow, whatever
Go
happens,
with the
happens.
flow. I thank every day when I wake up, I thank God, okay, I'm still alive today. I'm not, okay, I can think the farthest I can think is for a month,
Okay.
not for a year
So
or
you
10
don't
years.
think about
No.
how you're going to
Mm.
be in another 10 years,
Because
another 20
5
years.
years back, if you ask me, would I been here today, I would have said, I don't know.
Mm,
And now after this, like from here, like after where do you see yourself in another 5 years? I would say the same answer. I don't know.
you don't
Because for a trans woman being in Malaysia,
Yeah.
the path is just not fixed. Let it be marriage-wise, relationship, or job scope, or anything. It comes if you're lucky. If it doesn't come, then you just have to accept it.
Okay. Now I'm going to go to the next phase.
Mm.
So you're done. You're a woman now. The next is falling in love,
Yes.
right?
Mm.
Falling in love with men.
Yes.
Right?
Obviously. Please,
You're a woman.
okay, I would like to highlight this.
Please do.
People who's watching this, when you're in a relationship with a trans woman, especially guys, only guys. Okay, wait, how do I say it? Okay, wait. Men who's in a relationship with a trans woman, do you classify them as gay or straight men?
Oh, that is a good thing. A lot of people consider trans women gay because
Slap
they
them.
consider you still a male.
No. You are not gay if you date or marry a trans woman. You are still classified as a woman. A trans woman is basically the term you're born as a male, you transformed into woman. So that's why it's trans woman. Okay? But if you ask me, I'm 70% equal into a woman. The
Right.
balance 30% is just because I don't have a uterus.
Yeah.
Okay?
Right.
That is the part. But there is so many women out there who can't give birth
She's
also.
gendered, right? Normal women, right?
Yeah. Biologically women
Yeah.
who can't give birth as well. So if they can't give birth, do they become trans women also? Will you classify them as trans women? No, right?
No.
There you go.
So that's how you see
People still marry them, right? They
Right.
still classify them as men, right? So
Okay. Before we talk about your relationships, and
Mhm.
I'm sure a lot of breakups and heartaches.
Yeah.
Now I want to ask you one important question. I think people are always curious about this. So how do trans women satisfy men sexually? Now, generally, biologically, scientifically, only a real woman is able to satisfy a man. So how can a trans woman do that? How does that happen?
Okay.
Yeah.
To keep the answer short and simple, like what I told you just now, right?
Mm.
Once a trans woman has already done her surgery, she has parts which is equal to a female,
Okay.
biological bond raised woman. And a trans woman does get wet. She does have her
Orgasms.
organisms. Everything is normal.
The same way
The
a woman.
same way as women.
Okay.
So when a woman can satisfy a man, a trans woman also can satisfy a man.
Okay.
Yes.
So the next question would be, now trans women are often looked at as objects and tools
True.
to satisfy certain sexual fantasies and fetishes, right? So is that true?
Very true.
So that's how they look at you?
Many people do, actually.
Mm-hmm.
The best part is I'm a teacher, so they have
Right.
this fantasy teacher, and then now I'm also a trans, so it's
Mm.
like trans plus teacher. It's like a bonus for them.
Okay.
I'm like,
So it's like they put you in a porn movie in their minds.
yes.
So it's like that. You're
That
a porn
it is,
character.
yeah.
Okay.
And I feel like, how dumb can you be? Like, wouldn't you just for once look at me as a human, as a woman who has a heart, who is looking for love, passion, and all,
yeah.
affection and all? Why would you want to just look at us as a sex object?
Yeah. Literally objectify you. And
many men actually married have
Okay.
girlfriends,
right.
but they would go to a trance
Mm-hmm.
just to satisfy their fantasy desires.
Which they don't do with their
towards their girlfriends, or because they feel like, oh, my wife or my girlfriend wouldn't be able to handle it. Then what do I look like to you?
Yeah. Because I guess in a healthy relationship, they should be able to talk about
Exactly.
it. Not go to a trans
Accept,
woman. So if they
yeah.
have another kind of fantasy, then where are they going to go? Right?
Why us?
Yeah. Why you?
Yeah, why us? Why is it only, okay, if I want to be wild, if I want to choke you, or I want to try this position, or I want to, use tools, why must it be only a trance?
Yeah.
Do it with your wife. Do it with
Have
your
you
girlfriend.
asked this to people who approach you for things like
The
this?
thing is, they don't approach me like this.
Ah.
If they approach, they will get slapped.
Have you slapped people
Of course I did.
That's interesting.
Of course, must.
So now let's go into your personal.
Okay.
Okay, of course you fell in love. Of course you would have had crushes, falling in love. So would you share some? Maybe past, current, anything that you would like to share?
Can you be specific?
Okay.
What is it?
When did you first
Fell in love?
Yeah.
After my surgery.
After your surgery. So before that, you never had crushes in school when you were still.
I did.
You did, right?
I did.
But you never said it to any boy.
There was one of my senior. He was in Form 5.
Mm-hmm. So it was a secret thingy.
Yeah, it was
did
a
you write
secret.
letters?
No, I didn't write. But I'll just sight him. I'll just look at him from far. Because he used to play football and he's in this cadet remaja and everything.
Right.
So he would literally, a boys thing where because we were in Form 1, so he would like take out his shirt and then he would just do that. I'm like,
oh my god, it always happens in the movies and it happened in your. That's
very
interesting.
handsome, but now I don't know.
Okay, anyway, let's go back to your first love. When did that happen? After
When
your
I was,
surgery?
Yeah, 24.
Okay, so how was that feeling? Did you guys actually date?
Yeah.
Okay, so he knew you were a trans woman?
He first didn't know that I was a trans. Because back then I was not in TikTok yet.
Okay.
So it was just Insta and everything. He thought I was biologically a woman.
Okay.
And then when he wanted to meet me for the first time, that's when I told him, that I'm a trans. He's like, don't lie. When are you playing around? And I said, no, really, I am. But you don't sound like one, and you don't look like one. I said, maybe I'm gifted lah. I said, maybe I'm gifted in that way. Then he is like, it's okay. Then let's be friends. I said, okay, let's be friends. So he came and met me. Near my house is one old town coffee. So he came and met me there, and then he brought few chocolates. I was like, why so much of chocolates? He's like, no, my mom told me before we start something new, we must start with sweet. I was like, I gave him that look. I was like, okay. So we went like for a long drive in the afternoon and everything. Then we came near my house street. He parked his car there, and he was like showing me his family picture. This is his mom, this is his brother, this is his sisters, his friends, and what he likes to do, who was his ex-girlfriend, and all he was just showing. So I was just like, oh, okay, nice. I was just going on with the flow. Then one part he looked at me, I looked at him, and then he just kissed me.
Okay. Lips?
Yeah.
Oh, that was very brave.
Then he was like, I don't think we can be friends. I was like, okay, then don't be friends. So, but that was his first time actually dating a
trans woman. Okay.
So I thought the relationship would last probably only for like 1 month, 2 months.
Okay, so you had no hope.
No hope.
You thought
but it went for 4 years.
4 long years, but it still ended.
It ended because his family didn't agree.
So he didn't know that before?
Exactly the
Why
point.
4 years?
Exactly.
And you went on 4 years too because...
I was dumb. I was young and dumb. And
young, dumb and broke? Oh no, that's a song. There.
Yeah. I was young and dumb, and I trusted, oh no, my love is true. My love is genuine. So, God would somehow save me, and you will put
all that. All that you did.
I'll take Velaku, go put Velaku.
For him all you did?
Yes, of course.
4 years, yeah.
4 years lah. Within 3 months, I brought him to my house already. This is the guy I'm in love with.
Parents all okay.
My parents all was like, okay. And
yeah, okay.
So then after that, we broke up. I was like, where is this coming from? Do you know that 4 years, 2 times only we fought?
So it was pretty successful and healthy?
It was a very healthy and successful relationship. It's just that his family didn't agree, and he was a mama boy. So and I don't want to put him in a situation where he has to choose me or the mother. So,
but if he knows he's a mama boy, he knew it forever, but 4 years.
1 year, so I would have taken it, but it was 4 years.
And it was your first love, huh? So how did you take it?
Oh, very bad.
What did you do?
At that age, what would people do? Go clubbing, meet more people, become worst version of yourself.
You just wanted to do it because you just felt useless, worthless?
Yes.
That's how he left
And then I had this thought, since your family never accept me, I will choose a guy who accepts me. The family also will accept me.
Did that happen?
Yes, it did.
Tell me about it.
So there was this guy, another guy. His name is, let's just label A. This is A, the 4 years one.
This is B,
B.
Okay.
He was an engineer. He was earning good. Every day, lunchtime, he'll come to my house. He'll eat my mom's cooking. My nephew and niece loved him. They call me Cherima. They call him Chericha.
Okay.
And then he was the perfect, ideal husband material.
Okay.
Okay? Like no one, like I would go to any shop, anything, I would just look at this mark. I'm like, very nice, Abi. The next thing I know, the cup would be there in the cashier. Everything. He would worship me.
So you were worshipped.
I was worshipped.
That would have put you somewhere else, isn't it?
Yes.
Not in this world.
And the thing is...
girls like that, isn't it?
Yes. And the thing is, he wasn't afraid to be with me on social media. Everyone knew. We were the talk of the town, the ideal couple. Valda Samrakshana Mari Val. No. She studied, she transformed, she met the right guy, she's going to get married. So
he was so proud of you. He showed you to everybody.
Yeah, he posted me on his social media. He made me post him on my social media. All family events and functions, he was there, he was present. And then, we would go on dates, we would go bangsa and everything. People would approach me and then they will approach him. Oh my God, brother, you are really such a good person, you know. He was like, thank you and everything.
So he was actually looked at someone so great.
Because he gave me a life.
Why he needs to give you a life? Okay, Naman, continue.
You
are coming to that.
Society's point of view.
Without him, you won't have life.
Yes. Okay. And then, in Malaysia itself, one guy is giving a trans a life. That
headlines.
Headlines.
Okay.
This if I married him, it wouldn't have been like influencer Samrakshana got married to a guy. It wouldn't have been like that. It would have been this particular person
B.
married the famous Samrakshana influencer, even though knowing that she's a trans.
Yes, they have to put that word
They
there.
have to. If not, they cannot sleep.
Cannot sleep.
Cannot sleep.
Okay.
So then everything was going perfect. But you see, I was very dumb again.
Again. 2 times you were dumb. Okay, never mind.
Everything was perfect ready. And he told me December we will get married.
So this was how many years?
6 months.
Okay, so this was in 6 months.
That's
you
why
didn't sense anything.
When a man knows what he wants, he will do it. That phrase, I believe. Okay. If a true man knows what he wants, if he's really in love with you, he will do it. No matter what. He brought me. He brought me to Sriman, everything. He was very stern with his family that I will marry her. No matter what. If I marry her, I'll marry her. If not, I'm not going to marry her. He was that. He brought me, he introduced me to his sister-in-law, his brother and everything. And they were very accepting. Okay. So everything was beautiful.
So you were in a different world?
But the thing is, when I was in a different world, his memory used to come back because I was in love with him. I lost my virginity to him.
4 years.
I was 4 years.
Oh, so you lost your virginity to him. He was your first everything.
Everything. Okay. Everything. And it was not like a 4 years of pain, fight, and
it was you only fought twice.
It was a beautiful year.
You guys literally lived as husband and wife. I mean, kudumam nadithinga, and it had lots of nice memories.
It was like, I felt like manasana varthana vechikittu.
So you couldn't get over A, but here you have B, who is all over you.
Yeah.
Okay, so then
the whole point is I got in a relationship with B to prove A that I can live a life without you, and there is men who would accept me for who I am.
Yeah.
So and then I told B, look, I think this is going to be very toxic.
So you were honest.
Of course.
So you let him go. He was in love with you truly.
I was honest. I did tell him that, see, I don't think I can move out from my relationship. I think I might go back into the relationship.
You wanted to go back to A?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So let's just have a mutual break. This fella cried and,
I can imagine.
He was really, now I'm telling this, if I could reverse the time, right?
You would have gone to
definitely. And I know for a matter of fact, I would have lived a beautiful life. My fairy tale would have been beautiful with B. But now it's too late, and he is his own path. He's engaged and everything. So,
Cherry, you said you want to go back to A. Did you?
No.
Okay, but you left him thinking you would go back to A.
Yeah.
So how was that? After that, did you trust back?
No.
Trust in falling in love again, and this will work for you? No.
Till today, when anybody approaches me with genuine thoughts or so, my first thoughts like
you have suspicions.
Yes, and traumas and everything.
You're still not healed.
Not healed.
But you do want a life, isn't it, with someone?
Yes, companion.
A companion, someone who would love you. But then again, another thing will come. You will do everything, right? Yes, you can satisfy a man sexually and all like a woman. But still, you cannot have children. You cannot have offsprings, right? So how will that be? I mean, everyone says you must, even if you can't procreate, even if you can't have a child, you still have uterus, you still have ovary, you still produce an ovum every month because that makes you a woman, but you don't do all that. So how?
But we do get cramps,
Okay, so this is something new. Why do you get cramps? Is it because of the surgery?
Okay, before the surgeries, we have male organs.
Yeah, it secretes and stuff.
Hormones and everything. Yes. So once we have totally removed everything.
Can I ask you a quick question? You never saw semen in your life?
Never.
You never secreted semen, huh?
No.
Okay,
I didn't erections and all.
Nothing at all. Nothing. You haven't felt a fluid coming
nothing.
out? Okay.
So then once they have done all these body parts removed and everything, there's no organs to produce hormones.
Yes. So you see, that's another side effect.
We take externally. That's when that hormone
therapy
comes in.
Right.
Hormone therapy comes in. So we take it externally. So the hormones that we're taking is estrogen and progesterone.
Right.
These two
female
hormones, which triggers the
cramps. Oh, now I get it. So what we go through when we get our period and
it's just that you will have period
because ours is natural and you're consuming it. So you still do get cramps. So you kind of know how it feels when the person gets
For me, it's every month at the end of the week.
So that completes you, isn't it? You would say that you really feel everything.
Everything, the pain, the mood swings, the cramp, the cravings, everything is there.
Everything.
Yeah. So, but some people still got issues what to do.
Yeah. Now, another I think this is important because they always relate this to trans women. So they say, நீங்க சாபம் விட்டீங்கன்னா நடக்கும்னுவாங்க. இல்ல ஒரு ஆளு bless பண்ணீங்கன்னா they will be blessed. They will say that, right? I mean, they always say that. But about this curse and black magic, they always say that trans women,
That's
they
an
do
amazing
this.
question.
And they always say that you do this to get men. And then they say another thing, you do this to get married men. And then you do this to get married men
We
out from
seduce
their...
men.
Sorry, I couldn't get the word. You seduce men with black magic.
Okay, like in a room, right? If there's 100 women there and one man there, nothing will happen.
Nothing will happen.
But if there is one trans woman there with one man there in that room, confirm something will
Because
happen.
black magic. You have black magic powers?
Yeah, that's why I wore black.
Okay. Okay, can you explain why so? Why only trans women?
Okay,
Why
we'll
normal
go
people?
part by part.
Okay,
First
yes.
we'll go the blessing part.
Okay, let's do the blessing part.
So those days, okay, why they say blessing trans? This one I will definitely agree when a trans bless it happens.
Okay.
Because those days, like we're talking ancient time and everything,
Yes.
before the surgery and everything, they you know, when someone has this kind of hormone issues
Right.
and everything, they are usually kept in temple. So they know a lot of prayers, they are closer to God.
Okay.
And those days in ancient India history, if you check, the first, when they do the Abhishekam and everything, when they open the curtain, before the king sees it, a trans will see first. So the trans, because inside a trans body, there is male and female those days.
Yes, yes.
But nowadays, trans women are fully women. I hate it when some people come and tell, oh, you're a trans woman, you can think like a man, you can think like a woman.
You can fight like a man. You can punch people like men. They will say all these things.
Yeah. How? Where do you all come up with all these theories?
That's what they're saying every day.
Oh my God. If I can think like a man or think like a woman, I would have been bisexual.
Oh, yeah.
Why must I all think like, or if I have feelings towards gay man or another man means I would have been a gay. Why must I give 27,000? Do you know 27,000 how much?
And life and death.
Situation. இதெல்லாம் கொடுத்துதான் I cannot lie. These people, they make me laugh sometimes. Anyways, then okay, so they are very close to God.
Okay.
Right? So all
divine, right?
Divine. They are very divine souls. So when they bless, it's a genuine feeling. And those days people, trans people, they lived in temples. They worshipped God. That was their only goal. Wake up, pray, sleep, eat after what, pray back and everything.
The whole life is that.
Yeah, so their heart was very pure. So when I believe trans men, women, anything, if your intentions are pure, you have got a genuine heart and you do a prayer for that person or anything, it will achieve. It will be received as a blessing.
Okay.
And compared to all three genders, I think transgenders, most of them were actually like some like that. So they used to give a lot of blessings. They would come and do, and all that kind of things. They were they were the healers. The healers. So that's why you tend to get their blessings.
Okay, they always say that,
yeah,
right?
Correct.
Go and get the blessing.
Because a woman usually will get a period, she's angry, agitated, mood swings. Men, the weather, working. And trans were just like temple, divine. They were more closer. Sadhua. They were very calm, they know what they were doing. So when you come, they always had the beautiful aura around them.
Right.
Their energy was beautiful. Everything was beautiful. So when they genuinely, okay, you will be good. So it happens.
Okay. Now the black magic.
The black magic, okay. Like I told you, right? Some of them were in temples, so they were learning light energy. The same people, some of them were learning dark energy. Okay.
So
like how like how there is yin and yang, everything God and
evil,
demons and devils and stuff like that. So if there's something good, there is always something bad as well. So if there's light energy, those people who gives blessing and everything. There are some people, I won't say no, there are some people.
So there are trans women who do that.
That only trans women doing?
No, I mean, sorry. Talking about black magic and trans. No, just now itself I said. Many people... Everybody wants to do something.
Who does it.
Women,
I've seen women who does it.
Because they want to get something.
Trans who does it also. So
but you guys get the worst.
That is society.
They definitely
only you will do
like that. Yeah.
So That's about it. Yeah.
Okay.
Men, the thing is, my question is, men also do it. Females also do it. But why is it only trans? Why you always target trans? What is the happiness that you get from it? And you know, certain clubs, they have that rule or regulation. Trans are not allowed it. Then I'll be like, why? Because they all fight. Why boys don't fight in club? Girls don't fight in
That's
club.
right.
Only trans will fight, and so you will ban. Okay, last week I saw one boy fight in the club, so ban all boys one shot also lah.
You asked this, right? You
I
are
did.
vocal. Okay.
I did. There was this one particular club. I went in. They say, oh, sorry, cannot. And if they said it in a nice way, I would have understand. But they said, no, you can't enter at all. I took my phone. I did a video. Next day, the blast.
Okay.
And today, I'm the ambassador of that club.
For you. See how you earn your place.
Yeah.
There. Because we got to be vocal when you're supposed to be,
True,
isn't it?
true.
Yeah, that's really great. Inspiring, in fact. Now I want to ask you, getting into work, even normal straight people have tons of challenges to get into, normal work. It's really challenging. What more work that you desire, some professional stuff that you have and you want to be a professional. You are a teacher, but I believe it wasn't easy. How did they recruit you to be a teacher when you are a trans woman?
So when I went, because I did my studies, Bachelor of Education, then after that I did my Master's in Psychology.
Okay.
So when I did my Bachelor of Education, I went into this private university. And then after that, I went into a private school to teach.
Okay.
So when I went to do my practicum, my head mistress, she thought, the principal thought I was actually a woman.
Okay, so they didn't know.
They didn't know I was a trans.
Okay.
Until she wanted to type the offer letter, she was like, why your name got that A-L, anak laki?
Oh, can I ask you, how is your IC like still the only?
Karunakaran lelaki.
Oh, so that's, you have to use that as your...
Yes, but if that one will come back up.
Yeah.
So then what happened is, then I told her that I'm a trans and everything. She is very open about it. She said, I'll give you 3 months trial. If there's no any parents complaining, if everything goes smoothly, I'll make you permanent.
That's good, isn't it?
I was like,
start.
Yeah, I was like, okay.
Wow.
So then, yeah.
So you did not have much challenge at that time,
No.
because you were received for who you were.
Yes.
And you successfully passed that
Yes.
3 months. And your children loved you.
My students are my life, and my students always have seen me as
an inspiration,
another mother. So yeah.
Talking about that, do you have any ideas to become a mother? You want to adopt a baby?
Definitely, a baby boy.
You can do that in Malaysia?
Yeah,
can. As a trans woman, you can do it.
Yes.
So what will they require from you? Because it's quite, usually a couple will go, or even a straight man or straight woman, it's fine. But trans women, how do they get
You
that?
be their guardian. You wouldn't be the mother.
Okay.
You become their guardian.
So in that way you
In
can.
that way, you can.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. And about your identity. So how is that going to be? In anywhere you use your identity card and all, you're still...
When I did my surgery, sex reassignment surgery, what happened is I went to JPN.
Okay. You did try?
I did try.
Okay.
Because until 1993, if you have done your surgery, you go and give to the Malaysian government, JPN, they would give you a female IC.
Oh,
A lot of my elderly trans women seniors,
they managed to do it.
They managed to do it
So it's
until the
perempuan?
year 1993.
Okay. I did not know
They
this.
have keluarga negara perempuan, anak perempuan, female name, everything. Legally were allowed to get married.
So this was under which Prime Minister?
Are we allowed to say the Prime Minister?
Yeah. I mean, 1993, I was 13 years old. I can't remember. Was it
Mahathir.
Mahathir? Okay. So during his regime, this was allowed. But
Before him. Once he came, he stopped.
So before him, who was it again?
I don't know. That one I don't know.
I
Quite
forgot.
bad in history.
I really can't think. Okay, never mind. It's fine.
Yeah.
So he stopped it. So he stopped it.
After I don't know whether he stopped it, but after 1993, they didn't allow it.
Okay.
So then I went and tried, because a few of them told, go and try. Maybe, because you're working, you are, you have a clean record and everything. So I went. They said, can change the name. I didn't want to take out the keluarga negara like you. So just
the name.
And
anak perempuan.
No need anak perempuan.
Just
So
the
just
name.
Samrakshana Karunakaran is fine. But pictures in your IC and in passport, you can look feminine.
Okay. Yeah.
Because that's how you need to look presentable, right? You cannot expect me to have short hair, and then when you see me with long hair and everything.
Yeah.
So that one is presentable. But they will ask you to take out your mukati earrings off.
That's for us
But
also.
you can fight. You can actually
can
fight.
ah?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't
Because now you're taking out and you're taking picture,
But later
fine.
you're going to wear.
But you're
isn't
going to
it?
wear back. And then when you, any emergency, what, at that time also you expect me to take out my
Actually,
mukati.
yeah, I was thinking
And
about this.
but I still did because I was scared at that time. You know, no one
Mm,
really, I went alone. I've always, this whole throughout journey, I've always
mm,
been independent. I tried right and wrong,
mm,
everything. And now I'm voicing out to my future
right.
generation, kids who wants to be,
Mm,
not encouraging them, but I'm saying, you know, that honestly they want to become, you can fight actually, because when you go other country which accepts trans,
mm,
they will ask you back. So
mm.
to be on the safe side, you have to present like how you are
Yeah, yeah,
now.
yeah.
And in IC also you can fight. You actually can
Mm,
fight. My trans mama,
mm,
she doesn't have that kewarga negara perempuan,
mm.
but how she looks is how she looks in her
That's a
IC.
photo there. Okay, at least that is an achievement, I would say. Now I want to go to social media. You're an influencer, right? But there's this thing, you know, that when it comes to a trans woman or even trans men doing contents in TikTok or Insta, um, people say that you are encouraging the young ones to convert their gender like you when you do contents. So how do you face these kind of comments? They will actually say that, what are you trying to do to the younger generation? Are you trying to ask them to become gay, trans women, trans men by doing contents like this and, you know, things like this? I've personally seen all these hate comments on, LGBTQ community. So how can you address this?
To be honest, I've never got
In
any
your,
comments like
okay.
this before, because I've always posted in my social media like being a trans.
Mm,
What are the parts, the correct parts that I took, and you
mm,
know, I've achieved today. So
mm,
before me, to be honest, I've never seen anyone did that. Like no one came out, spoke. I
mm,
literally became a scapegoat. Like
mm.
I told, this is the way you should do this. And education is always your weapon. I will always
Yes,
tell that to the future generation.
yes.
Never leave your house until you've got a certificate. So
Mm,
the certificate really matters. So I used to tell it in a positive way, and I've always got positive comments. A
mm,
lot. Very
mm,
good, sister. This is how you know motivate. And believe it or not, I've got actually a few parents
mm-hmm.
that DM'd me. My son is actually undergoing these changes.
Okay.
What should I do next? Can you suggest me a few ways?
That's
You
good.
know, and everything. So I feel that the time has changed,
And parents are
and
more
yeah,
accepting.
parents
Okay.
are more accepting, because the pathway, like what I told you, that I created and everything, it's a good thing. I thank God for that.
Mm.
But these hate comments and everything, right, is just people who's lifeless.
Can
So you
I?
just have to leave them.
Yes. And another question, you have a trans women community and families. Do you have friends who go into sex work? Do you ask them to stop?
Yes.
Will they stop? Will they listen to you?
No.
They continue.
No,
Till
they
today,
continue.
trans women carry out sex work.
Because they got no support. They
Mm,
don't have family background, anything, education they don't have.
mm,
And I would say it's easy way earning money,
mm.
but it's like 1 hour job,
1 hour.
1 hour or maximum 1 hour.
Mm.
But the pain is there and everything is there, the disgusting feeling and everything. But at the end of the day, you get money.
And they are
That, like,
satisfied with that.
yeah, imagine if you get paid like 300 ringgit for
Mm.
1 hour, and that day you had 5 customers. So
Yeah.
one day you made how much?
1,005. That's big money,
Cost.
especially today,
So
right?
for a month, how much you get?
Yeah. 15 times 3 is 45. 4,000? No, 45,000? 45,000 if they work every day.
Is it? So if you're
God.
hard working,
Sex work gives you 45,000. So if they're going to choose this as their lifestyle, what is the future of trans women? Because if money is bigger than their dignity, look at you.
but
You're
I
an
would,
accomplished professional.
yes,
right?
okay. But I was in that part also. I was thinking, why they can't just choose education? But some people are actually forced to do it.
Forced.
And once they are in that, there's no coming back. It's very hard to come back. It's like you will get a bit comfortable with that lifestyle, and they do it very secretly. Like no one wants to. Of course, you're not going to publish on social media that you're actually doing sex work, right? So it's very secret and then secretive, and then the money they get, they use for a lot of good things actually. I've seen
Yeah,
them
you do.
doing charity. I've seen them starting up business, then slowly leaving,
Coming out of it.
coming out. I've seen them, and I've seen a few trans women who became the victim. As
Mm.
in that, okay, I would do this,
Mm.
so the future generation that they will adopt as a daughter,
Mm.
their daughter, don't have to go through this.
Mm.
I will save the money. The only agenda of saving and doing this is to get the money and doing the operation. So once you do that operation ready, they would go and work in countries which is legalized with prostitution.
Okay, yes. There
And
are
then
countries,
that country would, the currency might be higher and everything. So you earn more fast.
Yeah.
When you earn more fast, then you do. So a lot of people have
So a
their
lot of
own.
them.
Yes, they have different background stories.
Mm.
You have to actually really sit and talk.
Yeah.
I did during my transition time. I spoke after my surgery. You know, I would speak to them, and it's sad. It's really sad.
It is sad, isn't it? Because they're humans too.
But if you're given a choice to study and you don't want to study and then you run away and then I want to do this and you follow that path, means then I will say you're clearly stupid.
Because you're choosing.
Yeah,
it,
you
right?
are choosing that path. If you have got a path, you can study, become something and achieve something, means no, then why not?
Yeah, definitely.
I've seen people like that also.
Right. And before we end, last but not least, about your mental health challenges. How did you overcome them? Because, of course, you were bullied, you were harassed. All this was pretty normal. How did you address your mental health challenges? Did you have thoughts, dark thoughts? Have you tried things on you?
Yes.
You have?
I've never really been bullied in school or anything. Because I was a very friendly child back then. Happy child always. Rainbow child. And then unicorns and stuff like that and all that kind of thing. But harassment a lot.
A lot, right?
Till today, yes.
Till today, huh? How do you handle all this?
Do
you feel low about yourself, less about yourself?
Looking at me, how do you think I would face that problem? Okay, let's say I'm going to a club. Okay.
All right.
I'm wearing a bodycon dress.
Okay.
All right. Until here. Okay, short. Spaghetti and everything. That's how we go club, right? Okay. Yeah. So I'm going there. And then a guy comes and pinch my hips. This
happens, right?
Yeah, it happened. What do you think I would have done?
Okay, looking at you and hearing your stories, and you're a professional, I think you will not go and fight. Probably say something to that person and say, you don't have to do this to me, and maybe walk away. I don't see you as a fighting person.
I would do that?
Yeah, I can't see you punching him, but maybe you would.
But now do you know, confused. At that situation when it happens,
what did you do?
I go blank.
You go blank?
I get panic attacks.
So he keeps pinching you and you just...
Of course, no.
Oh, okay. Suddenly
no, like...
No, because you say you go blank, then when is he going to stop pinching you, right?
Like one time he'll do, then I'll just look. Then I'll tell my friends, obviously, right? I don't go alone. So I tell my friends but I sometimes will then come back home, think, why didn't I just slap him?
Okay, so you regret later.
Yeah, but when this harassment, it's easy to say that when something is happening, oh, you should have done that, you should have, tell the police or tell the management. People can come up with that. But actually, when it's happening for you at that particular moment, you can't really think of it. So I've been in a lot of situations like that.
So how do you overcome this? It will hurt you, isn't it?
A lot.
You never do anything about it then, and then you can't do anything about it now.
I would cry. Then I'll just think of all the good memories that I faced. I've never really spoken about this to anybody, and I think probably I did psychology. So
you think you can...
I console myself. I know I talk to myself.
But you're a human too, isn't it?
Yes.
You need a safe space too. You need to express too.
True.
And I hope you got that today in this platform.
Yeah, I did.
Okay, still, yes,
some people will never listen.
Well, you can't change people.
Exactly.
But whatever you're saying, and when your voice reaches out
of 10 people, 5 people change, so it's good enough.
Yeah, it's just increasing awareness at this point. Before we end, what would you like to tell the world about yourself today after finishing this session? Who is Samrakshana? And what do you hope for the world outside, for the youngsters? Yeah, go ahead and say it as you wish.
Okay. Let me just tell you all something. Everybody in this world needs a beautiful life to live. That is the whole purpose why this whole world was created. Okay, God created this world so that everybody can live happily and peacefully. Okay, so when you see a trans or when you see me in public and everything, you don't have to talk behind my back. Okay, she's a trans and everything and all that kind of thing. Or matter of fact, if you see another trans, don't judge. Everybody here, nobody is perfect. Okay, everybody has their own flaws, ups and downs, and everything. But learn to respect them. And for those who comes up with their own assumptions, before I come and slap you, just stop all that assumptions. Oh, trans women are like this. Superman, Wonder Woman, mix. Who comes up with all these kind of things? Just, if you don't know, don't spread. Simple. Yes. If you don't know, don't spread. Because people who listens to you will go and tell another 3 people. 3 people will go and tell 30 people. 30 people will tell 300 people. All this is no need.
It just becomes a zombie apocalypse.
Yeah. Just mind your own business. If you know, you talk. If you don't know, come and ask me. I'll reply. Just keep it simple. Life is very simple. You guys make it very complicated.
Thank you, Shana. Seriously, did you enjoy this session?
Yes, I did.
I learned a lot.
It's going to be very like, ooh, like the body was nice.
It was nice. We connected. And I think the most important part, even though we had a lot of terms, we used a lot of terms, we spoke bravely, it was very raw. I think this is what people need to know, isn't it? We need to break the taboo, the stigma, and just let people know, look, everyone is a human being. They are here for a reason. Sure. So you don't judge and you don't get judged, right? So this is what we are looking for. Thank you so much, Ms. Shana. And we will definitely work together for the community. You are very much needed for the youngsters, especially those who are confused with their identity. So thank you once again for being here today.
Sure. Thank you for having me as well.
Thank you, everyone. So today went really well. And I hope you enjoyed this. You enjoyed this session because we had a lot of awareness coming out of this session. So till I meet you again, don't forget to stream us on YouTube, TikTok, Insta, and in Spotify. And take care and see you all again. Bye-bye.